Christians. This brother here says, and I do consider him a brother. He says they, meaning me and others like me, who believe what the word of God says, that God chooses those who he saves before the foundation of the world. Anyway, he says that they get so prideful to think God chose them. God isn't a fatalist and doesn't create people just to not pick them for heaven. Okay. First of all, we're not prideful of the fact. We're thankful and grateful. And we render to God honor and glory because he did something for us that we did not deserve to have done for us. That's what it is. I don't give a rat's rear end what you think. You don't know what it is we feel. And you don't appreciate what it is you ought to feel, which is assurance and certainty that your salvation is sure because it is all based on God's work, not our work. That being said, I have to say, I'm slightly impressed that you use the term fatalist, which suggests to me that you've had some brushings with philosophy, a subject that I quite fancy. But then you say that God isn't a fatalist and doesn't create people just to not pick them for heaven. Actually, he does. Now, to be more specific, how he does it is different than you might think, from my perspective. All men are dead. From God's perspective, all mankind dead, sin and trespasses. The earth, creation, is one vast cemetery of dead souls who have no way to know what is good for them. They grope about in the darkness, searching, but never finding, because there is no light in them. A light that is required to be cast into them in order for them to see that they are sinners. A light that only God himself can cast. So when a person says that they come to God on their own and they choose God, and as a result of their choosing God, that God then chooses them, that is to make salvation a matter of works and not a matter of grace. Grace is giving mercy and compassion and salvation to someone who is incapable of finding it, who is incapable of willing it. So, you can have whatever ideas you want about the disposition of those who believe these truths. It is not about pride. It is about gratitude. And that's the mistake you're making. And that's fine. I still consider you a brother, regardless. But you know, there was a time when me, having my siblings who were younger than me, were a older brother, understands that a younger brother just doesn't get it yet. But you will. Be provoked and be persuaded.